for live coverage of Clinton Maroon football action on WHOW-FM. And also, here tape delayed on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10, the replay of the football game between the Maroons and the Redskins of Momence High School here from Clinton High School. This is Larry Dooling along with Joe Spencer. It's the second game of the season for the Maroons here this afternoon. And Joe, the opponent will be another pretty good one. Maybe not quite the caliber of Central Catholic, although we could be wrong about that. They might be just as strong or even better. They're certainly bigger. The Momence Redskins make their way down from the Kankakee area, and what we've seen from them warming out on the football field before this ball game, they've got some size, don't they?
Yes, they have 3 guys on the line over 300 pounds, and they all do play. They're not just sitting on the sidelines, and that's just a huge line. And but they also have a mix of speed in with that. Terrence Rendell, their quarterback, they like to kick him out on options. He's a pretty fast guy, and they got a fast tailback in Tyrone Pius.
Clinton High School Band is on the football field. They're about to present the playing of our national anthem. So while they're doing that, we're going to take a break here and be back with more on our pregame show before this afternoon's ball game. A rare Saturday afternoon matchup taking place here at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Non-conference game between Clinton and Momence. Back with that in a moment. First and 10 for the Maroons is still time. 25 seconds. Quick pass. Here's a good ladder. The big ladder down to the 10. Crowley's out of bounds inside the 10. Rolling out left. Looking downfield. Airing it out for Igins on the fly. 40-yard line catch. Chip, short drop. Pop over the middle. Deflected. Intercepted by Josh Wilson. What a great interception. He's down to the 20. It will go 10 yards. It bounces up high. The Maroons have a chance of the recovery. It's still loose on the ground. Igins has recovered the football. Taking a lot of time. Could be the last play of the ball game. He shoots it deep for the end zone for Schumacher. Battle for the ball. He caught it. Touchdown!
Clinton Maroon football is brought to you by Clinton.
Ball field off the north end. The Maroons. Emig is down on the sideline. Let's check him out and make sure it's working okay. Mike, you down there?
Yeah, I'm here, Larry.
Hey, we can hear you. Great.
I got Cameron down here.
I was going to say, I see Cameron Mon from the Journal down there covering the game. He's even got his radio headphones on.
Yeah, he wants to be able to hear you, Larry.
Why would he want to hear me?
Well, he's something you and him got personal going on from a couple years ago. I don't know.
Well, he used to be my sidekick up here in the booth, but we kicked him out a couple years ago.
Kicked Cameron. I like that.
He's got to take pictures today. He'll have them in the Journal on Monday. Nope, sorry, Tuesday. You get Monday off, don't you, Cameron? Labor Day. Here's the kickoff. Maroons will be kicking off. Josh Wilson has it teed up. And one deep man, way deep, is Willie Childs. He's 5'11", a senior for Momence, but the kick is not that long, taking about the 31-yard line. And one of the upbacks looking for some blocking and then goes out of bounds. That's Jordan Willis. He's 6'2" and a junior for Momence, knocked out of bounds about the 36 or 37-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Momence.
Willis Jordan, he's one of their key tight end components in the offense. He's 6'2", big target for Terrence Randall to look for.
Terrence Randall is the quarterback, as you mentioned, Joe. He's 6'2", 203, a senior. Good-sized quarterback. Obviously got some decent height, much like our Nate Sams. They can run the option. He can throw the football a little bit, too. They'll have 2 wide receivers. To the near side of the field is Willie Childs, another man wide to the left-hand side. And an I formation as they'll start 1st and 10. And somebody for Clinton came across the line of scrimmage and got shoved back immediately. But did somebody jump for Momence? The officials throw the flags, and they're discussing it. And we're not off to a clean start on the first play from scrimmage near the 36-yard line. They're going to call the Maroons for encroachment. Several of the Maroons were pointing at a Momence player, but the officials didn't see anybody move for Momence. So they'll give them the 5 yards, and the ball will be spotted near the Momence 42-yard line with a 1st and 5. Almost looks like a 1st and 4.5. I think they gave him about 5.5 yards on the penalty walk-off.
Yeah, I was wondering on that play because usually if you have an encroachment, 1 guy jumps, but 2 guys jump on the right side.
Out of the I formation, they'll give to Tyrone Pius on the pitch. He'll try the right-hand side, come from behind and knock down at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the Maroons defense. Closing in from one side for the Maroons was Adam Moore, and I think he was the first man to make the tackle. He grabbed from behind and threw him down for no gain on the play. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Redskins of Momence High School.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to swing the play out wide, but Caius cut it back to the middle of the field, and Moore made a nice stop for no gain.
Jason Spoon is wide to the right-hand side, again out of the I formation. Terrence Randall with the call. He'll hand it off, met at the line of scrimmage again, and no gain for Momence on the second play. And the Maroons defense, which played very strong last week against Central Catholic, is off to a good start against the runs right at him here against Momence.
Yeah, really up the middle didn't hurt the Maroons last week, and that's where both of these runs have been so far, and the defensive line is pushing that big offensive line back.
Loss of a yard on the play, back close to the 40-yard line, about the 41-yard line in Momence territory. 3rd down and a long 5 now for the Redskins. Let's see if Randall will put it in the air here. The 6'2", 205 senior quarterback has the football, pitches back. They're going to try a reverse. Nate Sams is there to make a hit, then the ball's knocked loose. It's picked up again. The tailback still has the football, but he's dropped for a big loss on the play at the 31-yard line. Nate Sams was there initially to chase that handoff almost into a mistake. Then the guy that came across
Jimmy Savage.
I was going to say Willie Childs was the man that took the handoff on the reverse, had the ball. You say Savage was there to knock the ball away from him. He was able to pick it back up. I saw Wes Graves in the backfield also causing some havoc. Anyway, it's a loss of about 10 yards on the play, Joe, and boy, the defense off to a great start for Clinton.
Yeah, pursuing and swarming, as that play had a lot of directions to go to, and they were all over it.
4th and 14, and they're in punt formation. Good snap. Here's the boot, line drive kick that will be taken by the Maroons, and it's Schumacher at the 35 to the 40. There's a flag on the play. Schumacher's still on his feet, but they're finally going to wrestle him down for no more gain on that return. Schu just won't fall down, but he can't get upfield any farther. Let's see what the penalty flag is around the 48, 47-yard line, about 10 yards up the field.
Might be a clip, Larry. I thought I saw one of the Momence players go down.
Well, we'll wait and see. Certainly Momence is acting like they think it's in their favor. It's a hold against Clinton. A hold upfield, about 10 yards upfield from where Schumacher was trying to make that return. So Clinton's going to be backed up. Now, they should mark it off from where the penalty occurred, and the flag is laying at about the 47-yard line. That would put it at the 37-yard line. But that's also about where the line of scrimmage is after they stop Schumacher. So there's not much to gain either way if I'm reading the rules correctly here in my memory.
And that was one thing I was about to mention in the pregame. The Maroons did a good job only having one penalty last week.
Wait a second here. Does Momence get the re-kick? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw Momence jogging off to the sideline. The penalty will be marked off from the line of scrimmage. So they will have still a 4th down because it was 4th and 14, but it's going to be about 4th and 4, and they get the punt again, it looks like, Joe.
And that might actually come out in favor of the Maroons, though, as Schumacher made a nice attempt but really didn't get much of a return. Maybe he can get more of a return now. Okay, now the Maroons have to be careful not to jump off sides and give them an automatic first down. From now about the 42-yard line, a low snap, but it's gathered in. The punt is away. High end over-end kick. The Schumacher's going to make a fair catch, this time at the 22. So the penalty does hurt the Maroons, and the Maroons will have to start 1st and 10 from their own at 22. But the defense looked strong in the first series against the Momence offense. And now with 9:49 to go, we're only a couple minutes into the first quarter of play with no score. Clinton will have the football for the first time this week. And let's see if they can get on track after stumbling around a bit last week against Central Catholic. Yeah, I don't think fans should be disheartened. The offense was potent last year and scored just 14 against Olympia in the first game, so I think they can come out and score today.
Nate Sands, a senior quarterback in his 3rd year, will be under center. Bob Igems is going to have to come off the football field. I'm not sure exactly why, if there's an equipment problem or something along those lines. So they'll have to send somebody else in there for Bob. The remainder of the backfield, of course, will be Josh Wilson at the fullback, Randy Rich starting at the tailback spot.
Looks like it.
Jim Savage is going to replace Bob Igems in there at the flanker spot. Mike Craig was down in that vicinity. Maybe he can check and see what the problem was with Igems and let us know here in a moment. Do you see what's going on, Joe?
It looked like a chin strap.
Okay. Josh Wilson gets a call on first down, breaks a couple of tackles spinning, and gets all the way out to the 30-yard line. Good, strong run for Josh Wilson before he was grabbed and thrown down from behind by Nate Wyatt, who's 5'11", 150 pounds, and a senior for Momence, spinning and working his way for about 7 yards on the play.
Trap up the middle for Wilson, and offensive line really pushed the big guys back for Momence, and Wilson had some big gains up the middle against Central Catholic last week. Let's hope he keeps it going.
I think you're right on the minor equipment problem for Igems. He's back in there. He's wide left along with Schumacher out of the eye. It'll be Wilson again. Big hole up the middle. Good blocking by the Maroons offensive line. And a 12-yard, or excuse me, about a 10-yard gain out to the 40-yard line. And good for a first down for the Maroons. They're from the 22 and 2 plays out to about the 39-yard line is where they'll mark it. And a first down of the ball game for Clinton.
Another trap, and one thing I noticed as he kept on running was he put both hands over the ball and he was squeezing it in real tight.
You're not going to put the ball on the ground in this ball game if we can help it. Again, another little misdirection. Wilson, big hole up the middle, is into the secondary. He's into Momence territory, and he's all the way to the 46-yard line of Momence. And right now, this Maroon running game with Josh Wilson out of the fullback spot is chewing Momence up and going right down the field. They're into Momence territory, just short of the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nothing really fancy, just running in between the tackles, and Josh Wilson is making a lot of guys miss and running right down the middle.
Everybody tight on the line. Igems in the slot right-hand side. On first down, the fake handoff. Now on the option. Nate Sams, hold to the right-hand side. He's to the 40. Now he pitches. Got it to Rich. Down the right-hand sideline. Knocked out of bounds. but not until another first down. And they're all the way down to about the 31-yard line on the option right run to perfection. Sam's already had about 10 yards on the play, at least 7 or so, when he pitched to Rich, and Rich got an additional 5, 6, 7 yards on the play.
Yeah, Nate just waited for the perfect time. He waited till it looked like he was about to be tackled, pitched it out to Randy, and they didn't have any outside contain on Randy, and he picked up some more yards.
2 wide receivers to the left-hand side as Clinton has a first down at the 31 of Momence. Sam's will try Wilson up the middle again. He's got an opening, breaks another tackle. He's into the secondary. Now the safety grabs him, can't hold on until he goes down at the 14-yard line. Josh Wilson, good, strong running. And, boy, this running game by the Maroons looks like a totally different team from last week against Central Catholic. They are just running all over Momence, and forget the size of Momence right now in this opening drive.
Yeah, and a little bit of a different strategy. Last week, the team started out wide and passing the ball. This week, they're just running it up the middle, and it's working awesome.
Lucas Ward over the football at center. Hands it off to Sams and down to Wilson. Wilson breaks a couple of tackles. Still on his feet. He's in for the touchdown. Unbelievable run by Josh Wilson. 14 yards. He broke a couple of tackles on the way. It looked like he was going to be stopped at the 10, and it looked like he was going to be stopped at the 5. And Wilson takes it in for the score, and the Maroons are on the scoreboard early in this ball game. 8:20 to go in the first period of play at 6-0 Clinton.
And what a drive for Josh Wilson. Of course, I don't know if my stats are always 100% accurate, but I have him
sure
for
they are.
68 yards already.
I can't be too far from that. This drive was a 78-yard drive, and he did most of the damage except for that one run, that combined option run with Nate Sams and Randy Rich a couple of plays ago. Now the workhorse Josh Wilson will try the kick for the extra point from the 10-yard line. Awaiting the snap from center. Sams will be the holder. Placement's down. It's a good one. Kick on the way. Looks good from here, and it is good. Timeout on the field. 8:20 to go in the first period of play. Clinton leads Momence 7-0.
We're here at Dave's Food Basket asking our customers what keeps bringing them back again and again.
I save a considerable amount of money with double coupons. I save quite a bit.
And I can't imagine why anybody would want to go out of town to grocery shop.
I like all of it, but it's just excellent quality. Produce is fresh, no problem at all.
Our customers enjoy shopping here. You will too at Dave's Food Basket.
Kickoff by the Maroons, but we have whistles blowing and flags on the ground, and we're going to have to re-kick this. After the touchdown by the Maroons, a terrific drive by Clinton on the ground the whole way, and Josh Wilson, the workhorse of that one, carried the ball almost on every play and chewed him up for a bunch of yardage. Nearly all of the 78 yards that the Maroons drove for that opening touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, on 5 carries, I had him at 60-plus yards. And it was great. Also, fundamental blocking by the Maroons is really, after the line of scrimmage, not a lot of the Momence guys touched Josh Wilson.
5-yard penalty against Momence, so the Maroons will tee it up at the 45-yard line, and Josh Wilson will kick from there. Mike Craig, how'd the offensive line look on that opening drive? They must have been pretty good.
Yeah, they were firing off the ball, and they were holding their blocks, too.
So a big improvement from the last ball game. Here's Josh Wilson's kick. Not a real long one, end over end. It'll be taken by about the 25-yard line. And stumbling forward to about the 30-yard line and down about the 28-yard line for one of the up men. That's Jason Spoon, who's 154 pounds and a senior, 5'9" in height. Kind of a fire plug out there. Got it out to about the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Momence. This will be their second attempted drive of the ball game. Were you going to say something else, Mike? Something else to add about the offensive line?
Well, it sure looks like they're firing off and holding their blocks, Larry, but it looks like their teams just don't have any wind in their sails.
Yeah, they came out pretty flat, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure do look flat to me.
Well, I knew the Maroons wouldn't be flat after the last week's ball game. They wanted to come right out in the first quarter and establish something, and they have. Here's the first running play for the line of scrimmage for Momence, and absolutely nothing there. Hustling to make the tackle as Bob Ijams up from his secondary spot to grab the ball carrier around the ankles, Willie Childs, and drops him for only about a 1-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9 now coming up for Momence.
Yeah, and they've had now 4 plays on offense. That was the first one for a gain, Larry. 2 were for a loss, and 1 was for no gain.
They'll send 1 wide receiver each side. Again, out of the I formation. Look at the size of some of the guys they have on the offensive line, though, as you watch this replay on TV. Good penetration by the Maroons. They're going to try the option. Spun away from a tackle. Still retreating awfully deep. Now he acts like he wants to throw. Nate Sams pushes him away. He's still on his feet. He's coming back to the right-hand side. Looking upfield. Now the Maroons will try to run him out of bounds around the 20-yard line. He stays in bounds. Still on his feet. Now he's going to break it all the way for a touchdown. An incredible run by their quarterback, unless he can be caught from behind. Randall Terrence will outrun Randy Rich. We're looking for flags, and we don't see any. We had him backed up to the 20-yard line, and all by himself, he breaks it all the way for a touchdown. I can't believe what I just saw.
Yeah, he was on the complete opposite side of the field. He just breaks it back all the way across the green and cuts back for a touchdown. As the defensive linemen were swarmed to one side, he outran them to the right side of the field, and he just was gone.
I thought it was sure just a matter of time before one of the Maroons would grab him and drop him. Nate Sams had a hand on him at one point, clear back inside the 20-yard line. But he got away from him, spun around, and was able to bring it up the near sideline, as it turned out. And officially, that's a 67-yard run for a touchdown. He's probably gasping for air as he comes up under center to try to run the two-point conversion now. Kind of a slow play there, but he gets the pass off over the middle and makes it look easy as they convert the two-point conversion pass over the middle to the big target, Willis Jordan. And just like that, Momence, with 7:07 to go in the first quarter play, has taken the lead from the Maroons 8-7. We'll be back with the kickoff by Momence in just a moment.
When it's time for retirement, will you be ready? With rising income to stay ahead of inflation, strategies to minimize.
Unbelievable play for Momence. It looked like a big loss. It looked like a big mistake by their quarterback, Terrence Randall, retreating deeper and deeper. The line of scrimmage was about the 33. He retreated at least 15, maybe 20 yards, trying to evade tacklers, and he broke it then for a touchdown. So the Maroons trail. The kickoff bobbled a moment by Bob Igens. Now picks it up, finds an opening up the middle, is almost brought down, but stays on his feet. 40, 45, and out close to midfield. Bob Igens able to make what looked like might be a short return after bobbling the catch for a moment at about the 25-yard line, is able to make it a good return of good 20, 25 yards, and the Maroons will be about a yard and a half short of midfield when they start their second series of the ball game.
And believe it or not, sometimes those bobbles help the offensive player. It throws off the timing of the tacklers coming downfield, and it allows Bobby just to go right by him.
So the Maroon offense, which moved it right down the field against Momence the first time, will try it again. A little misdirection. Igens gets the call, finds an opening up the middle, stays on his feet, and gets it into Momence territory to about the 44-yard line. Did some nice evasive running up the middle to dodge a few tacklers, and picks up a quick almost 8 yards on the play for the Maroons. So second down and 2 coming up about midway through the first quarter of play.
Yeah, the leading tackler for Momence, Steve Haught, looked to have him wrapped up right around the line. He just escaped him and went down the field for 8 yards.
On second down and a long 2, Sams takes the handoff, option left, keeps it himself, turns it upfield. He's to the 40, 35, breaks it to the clear, 30, 25, and then meets a secondary man and goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, but he was mowing him over as he went out of bounds. A big first down gain, and you said the Maroons are going to score 40-some points. Hopefully Momence won't also. We're off to the races here offensively for both these teams in this ball game.
And what I see that I really like is the Maroons are really aggressive. The linemen are getting off when they snap the ball. And when Nate was running, he was just looking for somebody to hit.
Clinton trails by 1 point here midway through the first quarter play, but they have the football. Wilson gets a call up the middle, has an opening. He's to the 15, 10, has one man to beat, gets a block, and is down to the 2-yard line. Wes Graves gave him a block out front to get him down close to that goal line, and it'll be first and goal for Clinton near about I think they're going to mark it closer to the knocking at the door to try to regain the lead. They trail right now 8-7.
Yeah, and we talked about Momence's big line, Larry. It's really not effective. The Maroons are blocking him so well, and the Maroons are getting it to the outside in the running attack that they're neutralized.
On first and goal, Rich gets the carry, tries the right-hand side, and is spun down about a yard short of the first down. Found a little bit of a hole on the right-hand side, but it closed up quickly, and they may have only gotten to about the 2-yard line. A second and goal coming up at the 2. Well, certainly, apparently this quick touchdown by Momence on that one of the strangest plays I've ever seen, has not taken the wind out of the sails of the Maroons.
Yeah, it looked like a 20-yard loss. He just ran it back, but the Maroons have won a score again.
And Momence has recovered it. A missed snap from center to quarterbacks. It went right through Nate Sam's hands, and it's recovered by Momence. Somebody shot through there and fell right on it, and the Maroons, when they were knocking at the door, put the ball on the ground like they did last week, and it's recovered quickly by Momence at about their own 3-yard line, and they stopped the Maroons with the help of the fumble.
Yeah, it looked like just Nate came out under center a little too quickly and lost the ball. That's really all it looked like, just a miscommunication between the center and the quarterback, which happens early on in the season.
Looked like it shot right through his hands. Is that the way it looked to you, Mike Craig, down there close to the play?
Well, I think what it was a quarterback sneak, and Nate was just driving through the line, and the ball just went right between his hands.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Momence has the football deep at their own 3 and dropping back in the end zone and handing off. And they're not going to get much out of it, about 5-yard line or so. I want to double check and see who the running back was as they unravel there. And they've made I guess that's the first time that Nick Denny has carried. I was going to say a change, but he was supposed to be a starter, but I think it's the first time he's carried a ball. Nick Denny is a 5'9", 175-pound sophomore tailback, and he got a couple of yards out to around the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. A 2nd and 8 coming up for Momence.
Yeah, they ran another trap up the middle, and once again, Adam Moore and company and Jim Savage in that defensive line held ground, and the linebackers came up and made a good tackle.
On 2nd down, he'll spin and keep the football on the option and pitches it wildly there. Nate Sams intercepts the pitch. He's got it at the 10 and goes down near the 4-yard line. What an athletic play by Nate Sams. A terrible left-handed pitch on the left-hand side by their quarterback, Terrence Randall. Threw it up high in the air, and Nate Sams, like a jump ball in basketball, went up above the Momence man, grabbed it out of the air, and was able to return an intercepted pitch to about the 5-yard line, so the Maroons get a turnover right back.
Yeah, and the Momence fans, I don't know, might have a heart attack or something when Randall, because it looked like he had a 20-yard loss on the play for a touchdown. They might have forgiven for that one, but just a bad move. He was going down, and he threw the ball up for grabs, and Nate got it.
Yeah, the Maroons defense forced that turnover. Here's Josh Wilson from the 5 near the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. On the 1st and goal from the 5, a simple power run by Josh Wilson. He's been the money man so far in the first quarter of this ball game, and he's got the Maroons back in the lead. They're up by 5, 13-8 on the 5-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Josh Wilson has been the money man, as I have him for 7 carries and already 83 yards, Larry, so he's getting some yardage. As Momence, I mean, really the offensive line for the Maroons is just really carving them up and giving holes for Wilson to run through.
And he is taking advantage of it, plowing away, and when they do finally, when those secondary guys try to make the tackle on him, he's making them pay and running over them. Now Josh Wilson will attempt the kick for the extra point to give the Maroons a 6-point lead here from the 10-yard line. Snap is high one. Sams is going to run with it, roll out right. He wants to throw. Now he's going to run with it. He dives for the corner of the end zone and makes it. And a flag on the play. A couple of flags thrown as Nate Sams was hit well after he had gone through the corner of the end zone. It was out of bounds, and I think they're going to have an unnecessary or an unsportsmanlike conduct for unnecessary roughness on Momence after he had scored the 2-point conversion, and that'll be tacked on to the kickoff coming up. We need to take a break here. 4:11 to go in the first quarter of play. Clinton now has regained the lead, and they lead Momence 15-8.
There's nothing.
After the penalty, the Maroons kick from the 45 of Momence, and Simonton comes in to do the chores. It's taken at about the 6-yard line to the 15 and out to about the 19-yard line for Momence. J.R. Gilbert is here in the background over the public address system, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore, the man that made the return for Momence after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Momence on the 2-point conversion run by Nate Sams. And the Maroons kicked it from the 45, so Momence starts pretty deep at their own 19-yard line on this series. And let's see if the Maroons defense can regain the way they were in that first drive attempt by Momence, where they shut them down real quick.
Yeah, and Gilbert is one of their big play receivers, and Wes Graves made a heck of a hit on him to stop him right at the 19-yard line.
They're up to the line of scrimmage at their own 19-yard line. Terrence Randall doing the chores, of course. He'll pitch it quick and into the backfield, trying to find some running room. Come to the right-hand side is Tyrone Pius, and the Maroons knocking down hard. It's Nate Sams who makes the hit. Well, he tried to be evasive there, and I thought he might get some yardage out of it, but Nate cut him down in a hurry, and not much gain, if any, on the play. Maybe just across the 20-yard line for a pickup of 1.
Yeah, they're looking to kick it outside, but Nate and Randy Rich were there being aggressive on the corners and keeping contain on the runner, and if you can do that, you can string out those long runs to the sidelines. That's exactly what they did.
Some unbelievable plays in this ball game so far. The touchdown run by quarterback Randall Terrence. Momence has their 6 of their 8 points on the scoreboard. He's going to drop back and try to pass on 2nd down and 9. Dropping deep, fires it deep downfield. Got a man down there, but it's Hygens who knocks it down. Had a good shot at an interception because that pass was underthrown, intended for Willis Jordan out there about the 40-yard line or so. And Hygens saw that it was going to be short, stepped in front of it, and had a chance to pick it off, but instead it goes to the ground incomplete.
Yeah, they ran a post off the tight end coming off the line of scrimmage, and it looked like Terrence Randall's throw way short. And Bobby I think, was kind of surprised that it was so far underthrown and just couldn't get his feet under him and get the interception.
So a 3rd down and 9 now coming up here for Momence at their own 20-yard line, just across the 20. No flags. I thought somebody might have jumped. Now he's in trouble in the backfield, but the Maroons aren't able to surround him. He throws it deep downfield, got a man open, but he overshoots him at the 40 of the Maroons. Oh, he can throw a nice ball and open for a little bit because the Maroons thought that he was going to run with it, was J.R. Gilbert. And Terrence Randall was able to unload it deep downfield and almost hit Gilbert, but overshot him at the 40 of the Maroons.
Yeah, they kind of fooled the Maroons there. As it looked like he was going to run with it, so the cornerbacks kind of froze, and that gave the wide receiver time to get by him, and then he threw it, just overthrew it, or would have had a big gain.
Looks like a punt coming up here for Momence. Mike Craig, it looks like Momence, the only thing they've got going for him right now is the evasiveness of Terrence Randall. He's certainly causing us some problems.
Yeah, he sure is evasive, and you're not going to arm tackle him because he's pretty good size.
He will kick. Schumacher will return it from the 42 of the Maroons. He's at the 45, 50, jukes a man, gets by him, 50, 45 of the Maroons, breaks a couple more tackles, 40, gets a block, 35, 30-yard line. He's at the 25, 20, one more man to beat, and it's the quarterback who drags him down at the 5-yard line. Schumacher, a terrific run back before Terrence Randall, playing the deep man after making the punt, drops him at the 5-yard line, and the Maroons are right there, first and goal again at the 5 of Momence.
And what a return by Ryan Schumacher, being aggressive, going right at the tacklers. The tacklers not being aggressive at all. They're kind of just waiting for him to run into him, and he just ran around him. And really just some great moves by Schumacher to get down to the 5.
And he got some good blocks toward the second half portion of that run after he made some good moves, as you said, on his own. From the 5, first and goal for the Maroons. Sams will hand it off, bumps into Wilson, but Wilson still running with it. Plows forward to about the 2, maybe the 3, but we'll see if they got him all the way to the 2-yard line on his forward progress. It'll be second and goal coming up for the Maroons nonetheless, down there close to the goal line, just inside the 3-yard line. Clinton already leading here by 7 points, 15-8, and we're still in the first quarter of play. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, so if you were thinking about coming on out this afternoon, don't think about it any further. There's still 3 quarters of good football action to go, and the Maroons are looking good so far this afternoon, so hustle on out here to Clinton High School. Second and goal from the 3. Pitch. Rich will cut it up, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Randy Rich took the pitch, started to go outside, then saw an opening to the inside, and it was a big opening. The Maroons offensive line doing the job, gave him the hole, and he's in for the touchdown, and the Maroons up their lead now to 21-8.
Yeah, it was going to be a sweep, but Randy got a nice block from Wes Graves and also Josh Wilson. That sealed off the contain, so he just ran right through the hole for the touchdown. Heads up play by Randy to see it and get some more points up on the board. And Larry, I think it's a big difference, the field position. I mean, last week we were always by our 20. Now we're on their side of the ball.
2-point conversion try. There's a flag being thrown. Sam's rolling out left for his life. He's got Schumacher wide open in the left-hand corner of the end zone and hits him with the pass. But we have a flag on the play, and let's wait and see if it'll stand up. They might have to run it again here. The flag is a penalty against the Maroons apparently coming up. Illegal motion, I believe, was the call. We'll wait and see. 1:45 to go in the first quarter play. Clinton's lead stands right now at 21-8. And obviously they'll have to take the penalty here and make the Maroons run it again from about their own 8-yard line this time.
And that was the old play from last year where Ryan and Nate kind of followed each other toward the sidelines with the pass.
Right. And boy, Shue was wide open there after Nate was able to get away from the guys on rushing, chasing him into the backfield. They'll try it again. Sams takes the handoff, pops it over the middle. It's intercepted, intended for Schumacher, and then Shue gives the guy that makes the interception a little hit, but realizing then that the play is over since it was just a conversion try. Willie Childs picks off the little pop pass over the middle, intended for Schumacher, so no 2-point conversion for the Maroons. We'll take a timeout here with 1:45 to go in the first quarter of play. Clinton in the lead. They've already scored 3 touchdowns in this ball game. They lead 21-8. Symington's kickoff is fumbled momentarily and then recovered by Momence at the 29-yard line. So Momence will have it at the 29, first and 10, and the Maroons defense has played very well so far in this ball game. We'll hope they can continue that way. We're getting ready to move into the second quarter of play in just another minute and 40-some seconds, and so far in this ball game, the Maroons defense has played very well with the exception of that one scrambling, unbelievable run by Terrence Randall, where he probably ran about 150 yards on that run, wouldn't you say, Joe? I mean,
laterally and forward,
yeah, backwards and then laterally and then finally down the field. It was a 67-yard run, I think, from the line of scrimmage, but I'm not exaggerating a whole lot. I bet he did run at least 100 yards on that particular run. We need to put some kind of measuring device on him so we can keep track of that kind of thing. The tailback will get the call, Pius, and the Maroons defense is there again, right in the middle, puts them down. This Momence team came in with a 1-1 record and regarded as a good football team, but so far the Maroons really have controlled this first quarter of play and really should be up 21-0, Joe, at least in this ball game. But that fluke touchdown run by their quarterback has got the 8 points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and despite the size difference, I mean, the Maroons line is dominating on both sides of the ball. That was a great hit by Kevin McCleary, and Jeff Wilson to come up from their linebacker spots.
On 2nd and 10, Pius will get the call, finds a little opening this time, but there's McCleary to close the gap, and somebody grabbed him down low also. Got a couple of yards on the play. We want to start giving some of these tacklers credit. Josh Wilson comes from the bottom of the pile. And a gain out to about the 34-yard line, a gain of about 4 yards. Third and a long 5, maybe almost 6 yards to go for a first down for Momence, and that's been one of their best plays from the line of scrimmage, except for that scrambling run that got them the touchdown.
Yeah, really not too much after that. In the whole first drive, they didn't have a play that gained yards.
We're down to the last 5 seconds, about 8 seconds, it says, as it's winding down. The first quarter play, and attempted pass, but a big rush. It gets away again. Still being elusive. Grabbed a moment again around the ankle, still on his feet. Now he's going to run upfield. The Maroons just can't make the tackle on the quarterback, but finally they do. And it's Wes Graves who comes up and puts him down after he tried to bring it up the field. Drops him about the 29-yard line, but man, oh man, is Terrence Randall tough to bring down. Mike Craig, you're down there in the sideline. Why is that guy so hard to tackle?
I tell you what, Larry, he is so strong. They're wrapping him up on one leg, and he's just strong enough to run through it, or he straight arms him and pushes him away and goes right on through him.
We're at the end of the first quarter of play. We're going to keep it here, though, because we've gotten plenty of breaks in during this first quarter play. A lot of points on the board. Clinton leads 21-8. The situation will be a 4th down and 9 coming up as they lost about 3 yards on that play, even though it looked like they were going to lose a lot more back to the 20-yard line. Mike, from here, it looks like Terrence Randall's getting to be a very tired young man. He's done so much running and trying to get away from the pass rush of the Maroons. He's got to be getting awfully tired, and we've only played 1 quarter of this football game.
Well, he's going both ways, and I think he probably has ran about, 200 yards?
Yeah, I think so.
To get about, 65 or 70?
Well, I guess that one big run gave him about 70 yards, close to that. So that's about all he has to show for all this running he's doing. And it's a lot of work to try to evade tacklers. What about that fumble on their part? Or I don't know if it's a fumble or if it's going to be ruled an interception for Nate Sams, because it was an attempted pitch play on an option, a terrible attempt on a pitch, and Nate Sams jumped up in the air and caught it. I think the pitch actually went upfield and probably should be ruled an interception. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to be ruled. Well, but that was a great athletic play by Nate Sams, wasn't it?
Yeah, if it was forward, it would be an interception.
Absolutely. How did you see that play? I mean, what forced that to happen?
I tell you, I couldn't see anything. I was talking to Mr. Igens down here, and neither one of us could see anything because we had everybody between us and the ball. So
well, obviously, the middle of the Maroons' defensive line has been putting a lot of pressure on their quarterback, and they were on that particular play. Here's a punt now as we start the second quarter play. Low snap, it's bobbled. He picks it up. He gets it away. Good end-over-end kick that Schumacher will have to run back and catch over his shoulder at the 35, retreats to the 33, looking for some blocks, and is caught from behind and is spun down at about the 41-yard line. Got a couple yards return on it, and the Maroons will have pretty good field position again, starting not that short of midfield at about their own 41-yard line as we start quarter number 2. Joe?
And to tell you the truth, Larry, when the punt had a low snap, I just still wanted him to punt it. I didn't want anybody to catch up with him because maybe he could get away from him. I mean, as elusive as he's been.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, you want him to punt the football. You don't want him to start running with it. I understand. Schumacher and Igens going wide to the left-hand side. It's Wilson and Rich out of the backfield. They're going to block for Sams as he drops back and looks downfield, fires it over the middle. He's got Schumacher at the 50. He's got a first down. He's still on his feet. 45, breaks another tackle, 40-yard line, puts his head down, and barrels a man down to the 36-yard line. Another Maroon first down on a good pass over the middle by Sams to Schumacher. And you know what made that pass look so easy is the fact the offensive line did the job and gave him plenty of time to throw the football downfield.
Oh, yeah, he had, a perfect pocket of protection around him. He could choose his wide receiver targets. He hits Schumacher, no big surprise there. And nice running after the catch by Ryan to get down to the 36.
He had 2 options. Igens was going deep, and he had Schumacher curling in over the center. Here's Randy Rich diving forward, and he's to about the 31-yard line. A quick gain of about 5 yards on the play, depending upon where they spot the football, maybe almost 6 yards on the play. So Rich with the carry up the middle, and the Maroons will have second down and a long 4 coming up. But that pass protection gave him a chance to look over the field, see Igens going deep, and he chose the shorter pattern Schumacher over the middle. And, of course, Schu turned it into good yardage for the first down. Now the Maroons 2nd and 4 at the 31 moment. Sams option left. Spins it upfield, 25, 20, and a good low tackle around the ankles by Nate Wyatt. Trips him up around the 21-yard line, but it's another Maroon first down, and everything seems to be clicking on all cylinders for the Maroons. The run by Josh Wilson, the option run for Nate Sams, and also the passing game just a little bit. They haven't used it much, but certainly it looked good with that pass to Schumacher 2 plays ago.
Yeah, everything's working, and you really have to wonder if that Tuesday game has hurt Momence because their tacklers just look so much slower than the Maroons' offensive players.
Yeah, and they've missed some tackles. They do look a bit lethargic out there. They had a long trip here on the bus. Here's Sam's going right side on the option, spun away from a man initially, and then gets it down to the 10-yard line before he's driven out of bounds. Cuddy Bertram makes the tackle. He's 152 pounds and a senior, and he had to hang on for dear life to keep Nate from going any farther than he did, just short of the 10-yard line. It'll be a first down and 10 for the Maroons, just outside the 10-yard line of Momence. And again, the Maroons driving here. We're not even 2 minutes into the second quarter of play. Clinton's leading 21-8 and looking for more points here. And Joe's feeling real good about his prediction. And he said the goal pants mean points, and so far he's been absolutely right.
I'm telling you, Larry, I look for these things.
3 wideouts to the right-hand side. Yeah, you look for those little edges, don't you? Wilson gets a call up the middle and drug down from behind. Only got a yard or so. One of the big guys finally got a hand on him and made the tackle. And that's Derek Roberson, the 6'1", 315-pound junior. He's not the biggest guy on their roster. They have, as we mentioned earlier this afternoon, a 56-pounder.
Blaine McDonald.
This kid's only 315. And he's filling out that number 77 out there in the football field for Momence.
Yeah, you can see that one out of the field. You can see number 77.
Second and about 9 for the Maroons. Sam's under center, has 3 backs in the backfield. Takes the hand off to Wilson. Now he's going to option left, has an opening. He's to the 5. He's going to try to outrun him to the corner, and he does so. Good quickness for Nate Sams, and he's into the end zone for another Clinton Maroon touchdown. This one coming with 9:42 to go in the second quarter of play, and Clinton is up their lead now to 27-8. And this does not resemble that offense that we saw at all last week. A lot of that, of course, we got to give credit to Central Catholic. They're a good, solid defensive football team, and they showed that last night by holding U High to 6 points. But we've made some improvements also, obviously.
Oh, the offensive line is blocking terrifically. I mean, we touted the big guys for Momence, but they're not effective. The offensive line is blocking and pushing them back.
Try for 2. It's a pass in the backfield to Igems. Now he'll run for the end zone and gets it in there. A 2-point conversion for Bob Igems after the pass from Nate Sams, and Clinton now leads here with 9:42 to go in the second quarter of play, 29-8. Back with a kickoff by Clinton in a moment.
Your forensic.
Nice to have employees drop by and see me while I'm doing the ball game. You know, some of the Dave's crew here. Heather dropped in. Heather said she got the day off today. I mean, I thought we needed everybody working today at the store because of the anniversary sale.
Yeah, is anybody working? I've seen EJ, I've seen Heather. Is anybody at the store?
I think Dave is running the store by himself right now. No, I'm sure. There's quite a few others there right now. They're listening to the game over the speakers. So I better be nice to them, or they'll be mad at me when I get back to work later this afternoon. But I'm going to be in a good mood the way things are going right now. We're still early in the second quarter of play, and Clinton is up 29-8. And everybody back at the store is going, good. Larry will be in a good mood. Not like last week when they lost to Central Catholic and it was a big grouch. Here's the kickoff by Simonton. He's doing a pretty good job with these kickoffs to the 16. Return to the 20, 25, 30-yard line, and a good solid hit by the Maroons at about the 33-yard line. Joe, did you see who led the charge on that tackle?
Kevin McCleary hit him low, and then I think number 81, Brian Preston, got him high.
Was there, too. Brian getting some opportunity here on the special teams. He's a junior. How big is Brian? He's a big boy. He's 6'1", 170 pounds, plays basketball also, I know, for the JV team last year, and hoping to get some time with the varsity this year. So a return out to about the 34-yard line for Momence, and they have struggled at times moving the football against the Maroons. A substitution for Clinton. We're going to see Ashton Duggins get some playing time in the secondary for the Maroons. He slips in there, it looks like at a linebacker spot, possibly. And Momence has a guy run off sides well before the snap of the football. And this being their third game of the year, you wouldn't expect to see that kind of thing happen, but I don't think their quarterback was even under center yet before that guy ran across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, number 34, J.R. Gilbert, he's their leading wide receiver. He looked puzzled on that play when the snap count was.
Now, keep in mind, this is a Momence football team that gave up only 6 points in their first game and gave up, 14 last week in the loss? Was it 14-6 or something like that? That they, I said last week, I should say earlier this week on Tuesday. And maybe the fact that they have played 2 ball games already in the time that the Maroons have played only 1 is a disadvantage for them here today. But they're looking very shaky right now early in this ball game. And, of course, we want to give a lot of credit to the Clinton Maroons for that. But they have given up 29 points to Clinton already in this ball game, whereas they had given up only 1 or 2 touchdowns in their previous 2 ball games. So that speaks well for the Maroons offense.
Yeah, they'd only given up 20 points in 2 games going into today, and Maroons have put up 29 and not even a half yet.
We've got a timeout on the field here taken by Momence. They're trying to regroup. They're going to have a 1st and 15 coming up now inside the 30-yard line I'm sorry to announce that we have no guest color man for the third quarter of the ball game today, Joe. So you get to work full time today. Can you do that? Can you handle that?
I think I can handle it, Larry. You got me in training last week. It was my workout. Now I'm ready to go the full game. I don't need anybody warming up in the bullpen.
Doug Neuschwander retired, I understand, after last week's fill-in performance. So
yeah, well, it's not an easy job despite what everybody thinks. I mean, it's more than talking. I gotta pick my spots with Larry.
That's my spot. I just talk all the time. We got another Maroon with an equipment problem for a moment, Randy Rich, but I think he's got the helmet straightened away now. And Momence is up to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and 15 now. Quarterback Terrence Randall. A weary Terrence Randall back to pass. Fires it over the middle. Intercepted. A diving catch by Bob Igins. Terrific anticipation by Bob Igins. The pass was intended for J.R. Gilbert, and Gilbert just kind of was standing there as Igins went past him, diving for the pass that was low, and Bob made a great interception at the 36-yard line. Clinton's got it back again.
It looked like a miscommunication is when Randall threw that ball, Gilbert wasn't even looking back at him, and when Gilbert turned around, Bobby had the ball. I mean, I don't even think Gilbert knew exactly what the play was.
Here's the Maroons. They're going to attack immediately. Sam's throwing deep downfield for Schumacher. He makes the catch between a couple, and he'll walk into the end zone. The Maroons are just doing everything right. Momence had 2 defenders there. One went for the interception and somehow missed it. I don't know if he tipped it or not, but Shu kept his concentration and made the catch. And then he broke out of the grips of the other man, Nate Wyatt, who had his hands around him inside the 10-yard line. And once he went away from Wyatt, he did that high stepping run into the end zone for the touchdown. It's a 41, I believe, no, it's a 36-yard touchdown pass play. It happened so quickly for the Maroons, and now they lead 35-8.
Yeah, Wyatt took him off the line, and he had safety help. The safety went for the interception, and as you said, somehow missed the ball. It looked like he had a clear shot at it, and he just totally missed on the interception try, and Schumacher just caught it and ran in for the score.
Kick for the extra point by Josh Wilson. Placement down by Sams. The kick is up there. It looks good from here, and it is good. The route is on here at Clinton High School. 8 minutes and 46 seconds to go before halftime. We still got a long way to go in quarter number 2, and Clinton leads 36-8. Back with the kickoff. I've been saying that a lot in a moment. Practice this week. I mean, you know, we got beat by Central Catholic 8 days ago, 15-6. We played hard. The defense played well. The offense struggled and kicked, fumbled the ball away and was intercepted 6 times, turned the ball over 6 times, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But this doesn't resemble that team at all this week. They're just clicking on all cylinders, doing everything right. Simonton, a good high kick that'll be taken at the 18-yard line, up to about the 30-yard line, and retracing his steps a little bit is Willie Childs, and then he's bowled over at about the 29-yard line. Good pursuit by the Maroon special teams, and again, Momence won't have very good field position. They'll start 1st and 10 from about their own 29-yard line, close to the 30. Maroons are just doing everything right. I mean, they just intercepted a pass on what really turned out to be Momence's first play from the line of scrimmage. Item's a great defensive play, and then Sam's a Schumacher, a perfect pass play. I mean, they can't do anything wrong right now in this ball game.
And the kickoff, good solid tackling there. Once again, Kevin McCleary got down on the play.
We saw that last week, though. The Maroons tackling last week against Central Catholic was almost perfect also. They didn't let too many slip away last week's ball game also. Terrence Randall back to pass, being flushed out of the pocket. He's grabbed from behind, gets away, though. Rolls out right. He's back to the 20-yard line, 25. Now he's grabbed from behind. He's still on his feet. I don't believe this guy. He is out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Twice it looked like the Maroons had him. The last time was about the 30-yard line. And look at Jimmy Savage. He's slapping himself in the helmet going, I had that guy. How did he get away? He is frustrated as Randall gets it back out for about a 3-yard gain after he looked like trapped way back at the 20-yard line.
And it looks like the Barry Sanders syndrome for Randall here. He run 20 yards, get a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
tell Elliot that. He's that Lions fan, right?
Yeah.
A 2nd down and 7, as it turns out, for Momence. And the one-man team back to pass. Terrence Randall fires it downfield. It's intercepted by Wes Graves at the 47, 45, 40-yard line, 35, and down to the 30-yard line. Wes Graves, the pass was underthrown this time. I think it was intended for the man flying down the far sideline over there. Tyler Strew looked to be in the vicinity, but Wes Graves in front of him was able to reach up high in the air and intercept it at the 47-yard line and make the run back to the 30. And again, the Maroons are in scoring position, and the way this team's been going, it might not take long for them to put more points on the board.
Yeah, well, and I don't know what they put in the French toast this morning that the players ate, but it's certainly working.
I know what you know what? I know it's the night game next week, but we're having French toast before the game, right?
Yeah.
If that's what they had this morning, feed them the same stuff again before the ball game against Argenta next Friday night. From the 30-yard line, Nate Sams with one lone back in the backfield. Josh Wilson, now a man in motion, is Randy Rich. Option right. Sams breaks the tackle and is caught and spun down. And guess who it was that made the tackle? Yep, number 12, Terrence Randall. He's having to do everything for his football team out there, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, the fans can't really fault him as he's flying all over both sides of the field trying to do his best. He hasn't had any help so far.
Look at the fans on the other side of the field, Joe. They're sitting over there. They're leaning up against the railing. Their arms are crossed. They're disgusted. I mean,
and it's a long way home, so, I mean, you really don't want to leave early.
There's a long way to go in this game. Sams on a reverse. Igems cuts it up the middle, finds an opening, 25, 20, and then is hit and knocked down at the 15-yard line. But it's another first down run for, this time, Bob Igems, and the Maroons will have a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line in Momence. We still have 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. Can you speed that thing up a little bit, Jeff Berger? That clock's moving awfully slow.
Yeah, and that was a successful play last week. A little misdirection play, give it to Bobby Igems. He ran that time for 16 yards. Good blocking once again.
From the 15, Wilson gets a call. He's caught from behind, drugged down, a 2-yard gain on the play. Randall came up to help make the tackle, but he was not the initial tackler that time. It was Wade Austin. He's 6 foot. He's one of their small guys. He's 6 feet tall, 230 pounds, and a senior for Momence.
And despite being one of their small guys, though, he's one of their leading tackles. He came into the game with 21 tackles, 3 for a loss.
Yeah, I've said that sarcastically. 230 is big to me, but compared to some of his 300-pound teammates, it's not that big. Sams now on 2nd down and 8. Wants to pass. Fires it over the middle. Igems in the end zone. Makes the catch. Touchdown. What a great catch by Bob Igems. The pass was a little bit behind him, and Igems reached back and made the catch. Schumacher was down in that vicinity, too. Schu just looked up and watched it go over his head. He was about the 3-yard line, and Igems in the front right corner of the end zone reached back and made what looked like a very easy catch, really, as it turned out. It was not that easy, but it looked easy as he just grabbed it and then was standing there in the end zone. Another touchdown for Clinton.
Yeah, just a straight fly pattern down the sideline for Bobby Igems. He looked up, the ball was there, grabbed it for a touchdown. Offense on all cylinders, like you said, Larry.
I'm checking the yardage on that play. I don't remember the line of scrimmage. Things are going too fast. 14-yard touchdown pass play with 6:30 to go before halftime. 6:30 to go before halftime. And, Joe, we got the 40 points you wanted. Here's the kick for the extra point. Josh Wilson on the way. And ho-hum, it's good again. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go before halftime. The Maroons might be setting a school record here, the way things are going this afternoon. They lead 43-8. I need another break. Back with more in a moment. And this game is moving too fast. Things are happening too quickly. Too many points are being scored too quickly, and you can't keep up with it. You can watch the television replay as it is being videotaped on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10 next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, and next Wednesday morning at 10, and next Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10. The televised replay with yours truly and Joe in the background going, what in the world is going on out there? As Clinton, with 6.5 minutes to go before halftime, leads 43-8 over Momence, and it should be 43-zip. Here's another kickoff and another attempted return for Momence. Willie Childs is brought down short of the 30-yard line again, and that's at least the second or third time this ball game that Ashton Duggins has been in there helping out on the special teams. At least Ashton getting some playing time and doing a good job there making the tackle.
Yeah, Ashton got in there, and on the last kickoff return, Travis Andrew helped out on a tackle, so some young guys get some playing time and tackling pretty well against some bigger opponents.
Mike Craig, do you have anything to say about this game at this point, or are you just stunned like we are right now?
Well, I'm enjoying the sun down here, Larry.
How come you're not wearing your dress shirt and slacks and tie like I am? How come you're in that
sports coat?
That loafing-looking outfit down there?
I am loafing, Larry.
Yeah, you're at the line of scrimmage at the 29-yard line. Momence territory as they have 1st and 10, and they'll try the run up the middle. Pius is grabbed and brought down. Ashton Duggins grabbed him around the ankles. Jimmy Savage, who is getting a lot of playing time in the middle of that defensive line for the Maroons at the nose guard and doing a good job for not a real big guy, was also there to help make the tackle after about a half-yard gain. And at this point in the game, guys, Joe and also Mike, maybe he can help us, we might see some different uniforms getting dirty in there. We'll have to kind of keep an eye out for some new guys getting some playing time in there.
Yeah, I saw on the sidelines it looked like Travis Andrew was taking some snaps, so he might get some quarterback action in the second half.
Travis Andrew back up at quarterback. 2nd down and a long 9 for Momence. They tried to draw the Maroons off sides, and I think they did so that time. And we have penalty flags laying on the ground here.
It looked like Tony Simonson and another person on the right side got a little early start on the play.
You don't have to pick on them here. They've done everything so well in this ball game. You know,
Well, I wasn't trying to pick on
well,
him.
I know, but you don't have to point out exactly who it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't.
Now, defensively, it looks like we have a lot of the same guys in there right now. Except, I think I see Thad Harnett lining up there. He's playing some defense. He rotates the plays in and out of there on the offensive line, but Thad's in there on defense, it looks like, at the left end right now, or does he usually start at that spot? Maybe he does, and I just haven't paid enough attention. Help me out here, Joe. Bail me out. Mike's looking at me real strange, too. Do you have something to say, Mike?
Yeah, Tony Simonson's at one end and Thad's at the other.
Okay, here's a little pop pass over the middle, and they get a completion this time to their receiver, Willis Jordan. No, it's not Michael Jordan. It's Willis Jordan.
That's what I said.
You said it's Jordan.
I said
6'2",
Willis.
190. I didn't hear the Willis part. A gain of only a couple of yards to the 31-yard line. His third down is still long coming up for Momence. They'll bring the play in for the sideline as Willie Childs brings it in. Let's see. Of course, Sams is still in there. Rich is still in there. Ijam's still in there. Schumacher's still in there. Graves. Josh Wilson.
Kevin
McCleary on the line. We mentioned Savage in the middle of that line. And is that CO in there at the other spot?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it is.
That's
back to
Moore.
pass. Quarterback, Randall, firing deep downfield, and overshoots his intended receiver, Willie Childs. Incomplete out of there about the 45-yard line. He can throw a nice ball, but he's having a hard time finding his receivers. That's Adam Moore, yes, as you said, at the other interior line spot. So I think we've covered all the Maroons defenders out there. And if it wasn't for an amazing scrambling run by Terrence Randall for 65 or 67 yards, I think, officially, but for a lot more than that in actuality, Momence wouldn't have any points on the scoreboard in this ball game. That defense has done a terrific job. 4th and long coming up now.
Yeah, he had to be at least 21 yards behind the line of scrimmage at one point.
Yeah, he was. Absolutely. Now from his own 20, a low snap and whistles and flags again. This officiating crew, headed by old Dave Yockey out there. Who, by the way, I asked him to make sure he gives us a profile shot for TV, not realizing that his profile actually is looking a little sharper than it did last year. He's dropped a little weight. He's looking pretty good out there. I can say that about Dave. It's all right. He might. He might hear it. He'll hear it from somebody. Dave and I go way back. Way back. I mean, I'm getting old enough that we really go way back, 20 years. Here's the penalty was against the Maroons, so it's a 4th down and 4. Another low snap from center, but it's scooped up there, and there's a kick away. They don't want to pressure him. They don't want him to run. Schumacher takes it to 35, grabbed up high, but springs away. Now he's at the 40-yard line, trying to get outside, and he's corralled and brought down about the 43-yard line. Got hit up high around the neck and was able to get away from that tackle around the 35-yard line and got a return out of it. The Maroons won't have quite as good field position as they've had several times earlier in this ball game, but shoot, they're only, 57 yards away from pay dirt, Joe. That's nothing, the way this game's been going.
Yeah, well, when they've started in Momence's territory a lot, I mean, they're not going to have as good field position, but this is definitely a heck of a lot better than last week's game against Central Catholic when we'd start on our own 15.
For those of you listening live on the radio, Joe has another halftime interview for us. He mentioned it during the pregame show, but maybe you want to, as Clinton takes a timeout, maybe you want to mention it again here, Joe, because we're only about 3:49 away from halftime. Who are you going to be speaking with through the tape recording, of course, that you made earlier this week?
I'm going to be talking to Wes Graves. He plays a tight end and on the defensive end position, and had some interesting comments to say. And Wes, pretty good speaker, as that was one of my better interviews.
I bet it was. Wes, I'm sure, is a very articulate young man. So we look forward to hearing that on the radio here at halftime. Joe Spencer talking with one of the Maroon seniors. You're going to do that each game, I assume, during the course of the season, as you did last year.
Yep, McDonald's sponsors each time.
That's right, brought to you by Clinton McDonald's. So we appreciate their support of that halftime program that helps fill our halftime period, although we'll have a lot to talk about when we get to halftime when we try to recap the scoring and the statistics. You've got a lot of numbers to add up when we get to halftime. Clinton is leading, believe it or not, with 3:49 to go before halftime, over Momence, 43-8. We're not even at halftime. And we're approaching 2 o'clock. You're listening to this live broadcast of Clinton Maroon football action on WHOW AM and FM in Clinton, Illinois. And we're going to have some changes offensively for the Maroons, it looks like. One wideout into the ball game now is Philip Turner, the sophomore wideout, to the right-hand side. And in the backfield is Duggins, and another man who breaks a tackle still on his feet. That's Jason Bundy, a junior, who gets the carry out to about the 46-yard line. Jason Bundy, who, for those of you watching the television replay, is wearing 32, is 5'8", 140 pounds, and a junior. And, Joe, you can give me a hand with some of these other guys.
Travis Andrew did come in at quarterback.
Ashton Duggins in there in the backfield, the sophomore, 5'10", 165 pounds. Now Bundy comes out of the ball game. And Travis Andrew, who's a sophomore also, 5'10", 150 pounds.
Rob Staten just
Under
came
center.
in at fullback.
3 wideouts to the right-hand side. On second down and a good 6, and Duggins will go nowhere. Met right at the line of scrimmage, or actually behind the line of scrimmage, and dropped for a yard or 2 loss on the play back to the 45-yard line. Let's see who else we see in there. I see Brian Preston in there now at an end spot. They're shuttling a lot of players in and out. Back into the ball game Matt Galone. Matt's a sophomore, 5'10", 165. And you mentioned Rob Staten, right? He's a senior. He's in the backfield lining up at the tailback spot.
Curtis Fort came in for the line.
Curtis Fort in at a line spot. Curtis is a sophomore, 6'1", 205. Handoff will try the right-hand side. Duggins brought down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It's 4th down coming up. We also see Seth Taylor. He's a sophomore that was in there at the line spot, 5'10", 185 pounds. Who else can we pick up real quick as they come off the field? Eli Millsap was in there, a 6'2 junior, 220 pounds, was in there briefly. So the Maroons going with a backup offense that netted a gain of a couple of yards, but has 4th down and 8, and Nate Sams is back on to punt and retreating to try to return a punt here.
Terrence Randall now.
Mr. Everything for Momence, Terrence Randall. This worries me. End over end kick. Randall will take it at the 20. Let's see if they can tackle him. Wes Gray's the first man to try to chase him down. Randy Rich giving chase. They chase him out of bounds. That's a good smart play. At the 34-yard line, Momence will start 1st and 10. Don't try to tackle him. Just shove him out of bounds. Don't let him run it back.
Well, really, with a guy like Randall with explosive speed, he gets out in the open field. That is dangerous because he can run side to side like that touchdown run and get around guys.
We're down to 1:53 to go before halftime. A nice opportunity for the Maroons to get some other guys in there on the offense a little bit ago. And in addition to that, that's a nice gesture on the coaching staff's part, the way they've been running up points on the scoreboard against Momence without really having to work real hard at it. The way this offense has been clicking, I'm sure Momence has to be going, gee, thank you for giving us a little bit of a change here and an opportunity to slow you down a little bit.
Plus, you don't want to risk one of the skill guys for an injury or the lineman, for that matter.
Still have 7 more games to go in the regular season. Little trouble in the backfield. Now, Randall will run with the football on the option. Very slow developing play, but he is able to get positive yardage out of it of about 5 or 6 yards. And the Maroons, with some starters and some subs in there on defense, and one of those Maroons are down on the field right now, right where the tackle took place. I don't know if it's leg cramps or just some other kind of leg injury from where the tackle was made around the 40-yard line, and I can't tell who it is yet.
20-something.
Well, let's not speculate, please.
Well, I just saw a big 2 there.
Well, now every mother that's got a kid that has a uniform that starts with 2 is going to be worried sick, thanks to you.
Well, I'm sorry, Larry.
I mean, I've been around the block a few times doing these ball games. I know how this works. Timeout on the field. I think it's Bob Igems. I'll just go ahead and speculate and say I think it's Bob.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Being attended to by the trainer, there's a timeout on the field. We'll take timeout also. 1:39 to go before halftime. Clinton is leading Momence 43-8. High school live on WHOW AM and FM and on the tape delay on Clinton Cable TV Channel 7. The replays. I know I'm going to be watching the replay of this ball game. Incredible offensive display by the Clinton Maroons. Solid defense also. Only 1 score in the ball game by Momence on a real freak play. A real interesting scrambling run by Terrence Randall that I want to see again because there was no way he was going to even get any positive yardage on that play, much less score. And he turned it into about a 20-yard loss into a 67-yard run for a touchdown. But then they had to bring out a large tank of oxygen to him. They're getting, not really, but I would have needed that after that kind of run.
Well, you don't know. Maybe at halftime they bring in something in the locker room the way he's been going up and down the field.
He has had to try to do it all for Momence. Bob Igems walked off to the sideline. He's coming to the bench behind the rest of his teammates and will probably sit out the rest of this first half of play, which there's only 1:39 seconds remaining. And doesn't appear to be real serious. Hopefully it isn't. Still talking with the trainer. On second down and about 4 coming up now for Momence. Terrence Randall has the football. He'll run it right. Option right. Looks to pitch, but keeps it. Keeps his feet moving and maybe close to a first down. Looks like he has the first down. Maroons were hanging on to him, trying to bring him down, but he was able to get just enough yardage for the first down to about the 45-yard line of Momence.
Yeah, he went option right on that play, and Josh Wilson made a nice play to get him down. As we've mentioned, he's elusive. You don't want to let him get going down that field again. You might not bring him down.
And the crowd on the far side lets out a little bit of a cheer. They got a first down. It's been a while since they've had one of those. They haven't had too much to cheer about over there on the Momence side. They've got, not a huge crowd, but they have a number of people that made the long trip down from Momence for this football game this afternoon. and they're working on their tans a little bit. Here's Randall handing off this time. They'll try the inside, and a little bit of yardage out to about the 50-yard line, about a 5-yard carry for Nick Denny, the 5'9", 175-pound sophomore. The Maroons have some subs in there on defense right now, although they've got a lot of their starters still in there too. Well, maybe they don't have that many subs. Let's
Nice
check some of
hit
these guys.
by Brian Preston there to bring Denny down as they went another trap up the middle.
Who's there in the middle now? Is that Chad Sexton possibly getting some playing time, or am I reading that number correctly? We'll double check it. He's right over center on 2nd and 5. Randall will hand it off. Again, they'll try the... Nope, instead he keeps it this time, and he's got first down yardage and drugged down around the ankles by Josh Wilson. They faked me that time. I thought he had handed it off, and they were going up the middle, but he kept it on the option left and has the first down close to the 40-yard line of Clinton. Momence trying to mount something here, but they're down to 27 seconds to go before halftime.
Yeah, but you never know with Randall, as quick as he can break something. And you were right, that is Chad Sexton
Okay,
at
I
nose
thought
guard
so.
now.
Chad is a senior. He's 5'10", 160 pounds, and getting some time at that nose guard spot that Jimmy Savage has handled so well in this ball game in the first half. Back to pass, Randall being chased. Drugged down from behind, and a sack on the play for the Maroons. Adam Moore. He didn't get away that time. Adam grabbed him around the back and just fell right on top of him and put him down at the 50-yard line. And Randall's very slow getting up. He's got to be exhausted, though. And what a fitting end to the first half of play as the siren on the scoreboard sounds, telling us time has run out. We're at halftime. We'll recap this first half of play for you. It's been all Clinton. The Maroons lead Momence 43-8.
Pain pills are a common thing with people who feel they have no place left to turn.
Coming up now for the Maroons. Things have really settled down. The first half of play was fast hitting. The Maroons putting all kinds of points on the board, and now we've kind of settled down here in the second half of play with some new faces on the football field. Travis Andrew with the call. Has the football. Hands it to the second back. Bobbled a little bit. Now it's loose on the ground. It was stripped away by Momence, and did they get the recovery on the fumble as it slipped out of the hands of Jason Bundy? And Momence has the recovery at the 41-yard line of Momence. It was kind of bobbled from the start on the handoff, it looked like. Bundy had it bounce off his chest pads a little bit. He tried to regain control of it, and I think he did have control of it for a little bit, but they were able to strip it away once it was bobbled.
Yeah, they stripped away. Willie Childs fell on it for Momence, and they'll get another crack in on offense.
But the Clinton offense again moved the football a little ways before the turnover and ran some more time off the clock. We're down to just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Momence with the football. A little better field position now. Their own 41-yard line. Randall will take the handoff. He's grabbed by Thad Harnett. Forces a bad pitch. It's loose in the backfield. Still loose. And the Maroons recover the football. And was it Harnett who made the recovery too? Thad Harnett made the recovery. Again, it was a combination of Harnett who made the majority of the play, but also Philip Turner, because then he grabbed a hold of the ball carrier who had fumbled the football on the bad pitch and made sure he wouldn't be able to grab it, so Harnett was able to jump on the loose ball at the 23-yard line. So those two guys combined to force the turnover and recover the loose ball.
That's putting a lot of pressure on Randall back there in the backfield. He's already disrupted 2 option plays and now caused a turnover.
Big play by number 72 for the Maroons, Thad Harnett. He burst through there, had a hold of the quarterback, wasn't going to let him go, and that's happened a lot. That quarterback has been elusive, forced him into a bad pitch, and the Maroons get the recovery by Thad Harnett afterwards. Here's Bundy trying the right-hand side, but he's knocked down near the line of scrimmage and dropped for a 1-yard loss. Momence obviously getting off the ball a little better now than they were during the first half of play, making some good penetration. And if the Maroons don't hit the hole, they're not getting any positive yardage.
Yeah, they're definitely filling the gaps in a little bit better. But it's nice to see some guys that in the future will be on the field for the Maroons, but might not immediately get the time this year to get some action.
Maybe we should stick with Saturday afternoon games. This might be another part of the formula that works well for us. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
2nd and 12 for the Maroons after the 2-yard loss. And again, no gain on the play. That time the big guy in the middle of the line. He is a ton. Derek Roberson, 6'1", 315, was able to fend off his man and grab Bundy and drop him for a loss on the play. Or what was it Bundy? I'm sorry, that was Rob Staten who had just slipped in there, had changed at that tailback spot, and dropped Staten for about another 2-yard loss. It's 3rd and 14 for the Maroons. Well, will Brian Knutson give the Maroons, Travis Andrew, the green light to maybe put one up here? We've kept it on the ground so far this entire second half of play. The vote from the booth is no, they will not. Come on. Brian's been known to surprise people. Okay, all right. He's been known to surprise some people once in a while. Maybe on fourth down. They're going to run it. No gain for Duggins. Yeah, this offensive line having a little trouble now, pushing Momence back and giving us the holes to get through there. They started well on that opening drive of the third quarter of play, but not having the success here after the fumble recovery. We've lost about 4 or 5 yards on this drive so far that is, at the 27-yard line of Momence. It's a 4th down and 14 for Clinton. Andrew sets him down, has the football, fakes the handoff, option to the left-hand side, finds a little opening, and is grabbed and thrown down from behind. Good pursuit by Momence. And Wade Austin, a 6', 230-pound senior, grabbed him and threw him down and stopped him after just a short gain and well short of a first down on the 4th and 14. So the Maroons will give the ball back to Momence with only 45 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Momence will start 1st and 10 from their own 26.
Yeah, but still, it was a good job by the Maroons. Offense didn't cough the ball up, 8 clock, and that's exactly what their job is right now.
I see a lot of those starters for the Maroons down here, standing at about midfield. Nate Sams, Randy Rich, Bob Igins. Matter of fact, Randy's getting a little work done on his legs with the trainer down there. Momence on first down, a couple of yards on the play as they try the right-hand side. And several there to make the play defensively for the Maroons. The guy coming off the bottom of the pile we haven't seen a whole lot of so far, Jay Payette. 6'1", 170-pound sophomore, good athlete, made the tackle on the play and had some help on the top side, I think, from Tony Simonton. That'll run out the clock in the third quarter of play, a scoreless third quarter, and at the end of 3 periods of play, Clinton leads Momence 43-8.
Clinton Chiropractic Center, under the direction of Dr. Gregory Allen, specializes in the treatment of conditions affecting the spine and joints resulting from auto accidents, stress, sports, and work-related injuries. For an appointment, call Clinton Chiropractic Center at 935-6555, located at 203 East Side Square.
As we start the fourth quarter of play, it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Momence. They'll try the pitch and run, and he's back in there. The tailback seems to be okay as he gets it out to the 35-yard line. Tyrone Pius looked like he was running good after he was shook up a little bit earlier in the third quarter of play. And he picks up almost 7 yards on the play, just short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 now coming up for Momence.
And once again, Jay Payette, nice tackle as he tripped him up. He had a lot of ground to run through if Payette doesn't come up and make the tackle, so it was a good job.
I think John Willie's in there now, I think, a 5'11", 180-pound sophomore at one of those line spots. And another man that I have to look for here in my program. There's a first down run for Momence and a little bit extra into the secondary and to about the 46-yard line of Clinton for Nick Denny. Denny's into Maroon territory to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 for Momence. And Ashton Duggins is looking for some help from the sideline. I don't know if he's got a leg injury. Yeah, I guess so. He's flexing the knee a little bit. I thought maybe an equipment problem at first, but apparently he's got a little bit of trouble with that left leg, maybe a cramp in the thigh area or in the calf. More likely in the calf, I guess, on that left leg. Well, you know, I'm working on it.
And a new guy in there at nose guard, Aaron Kameyer, just getting into the game.
Holy cow, there's Aaron. He's 5'10", 230 pounds, and a junior. Be a good experience for that guy. Looks like Josh Wilson will be forced to come back into the ballgame at that linebacker spot, replacing Duggins. So we're early in the fourth period of play. If you're just joining us, 11:18 to go in the ballgame. Clinton ran out to a 43-8 lead in the first half of play. And with second-string teams on offense and defense, played Momence to a 0-0 third quarter play. So we're still at 43-8 here early in the fourth period of play. But Momence has got about the best field position. I think the best field position they've had the entire game. Yeah, they scored that one touchdown, but that was a long run. And they will go from the 46-yard line. And Pius will stay on his feet, still on his feet, fighting hard. Well, he hasn't given up. Gets about 4 yards on the play before the Maroons are finally able to tackle him and put him down at the 43-yard line. A gain of more like 3 yards on the play, maybe a long 2. And 2nd and 8 would probably be the most accurate way to put it here. Our situation with a minute gone in the fourth period of play.
Yeah, and one thing about this is you can't fault Momence's effort. I mean, they're still not giving up. They're still working hard. Terrence Randall's still in the ball game. We thought he might not be. So those guys aren't giving up for Momence.
No, they still got the starting QB in there. He scored the only touchdown for him. He's going to roll out right. Here comes some pressure by the Maroons. He dodges a tackler, then throws it while he was grabbed around the waist and throws it short and incomplete. Good pressure on the part of the young man you were just talking about that got in there. Aaron Kammeyer had a hand around his waist and was throwing him down when he threw that pass that came up short for the intended receiver. And who was the intended receiver on that play? I don't know if I've even got him listed here. Might have been Carpenter, although I thought it was an 81, but I don't see him here. Yeah, it makes no difference. You're looking too. You don't find it.
I couldn't see who that was.
It's not important. 3rd down and 8 coming up for Momence. They're at the 43-yard line of Clinton. And Randall, option right, now pitches and gets it to his man Pietz. He's around the corner. Chase from behind. Josh Wilson makes the tackle, but it's a 1st down. They had to get it to the 35-yard line, and an extra 5 yards on the play. That was a good pitch. One, it was a little scary looking, but Terrence Randall made a good strong pitch that time to Pietz out of the backfield. That's what made that play go for the 1st down.
Yeah, some of the fans maybe getting a little anxious when they see him out there on the pitch. He's made a few bad ones out there, but that one was pretty good.
That one was clean. He didn't have anybody dragging him down at the time he tried to throw it, but some of those have been pretty ugly looking. But that was a good strong pitch right to his tailback, and that was the right play to make. He was being surrounded at the time, and Pietz was open and was able to get some good yardage out of it to the 30-yard line of Clinton. Randall will hand it off. They'll try the middle this time. And Josh Wilson and Philip Turner are there to make the tackle on the ball carrier, Nick Denny, after a gain of two yards or so, maybe to the 28-yard line. It's good to see so many different guys get a chance to get some experience out here. Thad Harnett coming out of the ball game now after doing a good job. And Darren Black, a 6'1 junior, 165 pounds, is going to check in there at the defensive end spot, I think.
Yeah, these guys are very important because these are the guys that make the first string work hard in practice. I mean, these guys might not get to play, but they're still very important to the team.
A lot of juniors and sophomores on the football field right now for Clinton. Here's the pitch. Pietz will cut it toward the center of the field. He's met, and Josh Wilson puts him down. Now, Josh is just a junior, but a very experienced player, obviously, for the Maroons. He's getting a lot of tackles here, but he's in there simply because of the injury situation to Duggins. And Duggins, well, just now gets up. He was still getting some attention from the trainer. I think it was just a cramp situation, and he may get back in there for Wilson here any second now.
Yeah, and Wilson is so experienced because he got time last year subbing in for Jeff Wilson when Jeff Wilson was hurt.
3rd down and a long 8 coming up for Momence at the 28 of Clinton. And Randall's going to keep it. I don't think that play went the way they wanted to. He's going to have to freelance a little bit here. Gets a 1st down, tries to stay on his feet, and he went out of bounds somewhere over there, about the 16, 17-yard line, but has a 1st down, and that's just the athletic ability of Terrence Randall making that one work.
That's just what I was going to say, Larry. Isn't their best plays when he freelances? I mean,
well, the only score of the ball game was when he freelanced, that's for sure. All right, so Wilson comes out, and Duggins is back in there at the linebacker spot. Let's see, who else we got in there now? We were just using all kinds of guys. Travis Stapleton, I think, is in there now. 5'9", 185 pounds. A junior checks in on the defensive line.
Dale Ballinger's also in defense.
Now, wait a second. I think they both wear 50, and I think that's Stapleton.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. They'll run it right, and it's Pietz. And he is spun down and tackled. Duggins was there, but I think initially Phil Turner slowed him down a little bit, and then there was also help on the play by Darren Black. And they're giving credit to Gall also for helping out on the play. And a gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 for Momence. Time winding down in this ball game. In the 4th period of play, under 8 minutes ago in the ball game. Clinton very much in control, as they have been throughout, really, since about halfway through the 1st quarter of play, when they put 43 points on the board in the 1st half, just as Joe had predicted, after he saw the gold pants. Handoff, they'll try the left-hand side, and again, it's Ashton Duggins having to make the tackle. He and Josh Wilson from that linebacker spot are in on every play, it seems like. Ashton's a little slow getting up again. He's on his feet, but he's over on his knees a little bit and might need a breather again. Now, the ball carrier on the play, by the way, Joe, was Nick Denny, who picked up another 3 yards, maybe almost 4. 3rd and 3, inside the 10. They're to the 9-yard line of Clinton.
And it's nice to see the middle linebackers going in and making those tackles, because those are the responsibilities when the running back gets past the line of scrimmage.
See if this young defense can keep him out of the end zone. I see big 69 lumber up to the line of scrimmage, Blaine McDonald. And they will try the middle. He is a big boy, though. We've been kind of trying to watch him out of the corner of our eye. He just doesn't look like he moves too far, though. Takes a couple of steps, and that's about it. They have the 1st down. I didn't even pay attention to who the ball carrier was. I was too busy looking at the big guy. Keeper down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal from the 1 for Momence. Well, might as well. I mean, that's their best play. But you know, Terrence Randall is going to be one very, very tired young man when this game is finally over. He was worn out in the first half of play.
Yeah, and you wonder exactly how many plays he had Tuesday. I mean, he could really...
Look at him. He can hardly get up under center for some reason. He's hurt or something. He is just... He's holding his left hand, it looks like. I think he might have hurt his wrist on that tackle a moment ago. Or he's holding one of his hands.
Yeah,
See, he's taking off his helmet with his left hand, so he can't be his left wrist. He wouldn't be taking off his helmet with that one.
Well, that's one thing
But he is hurt.
Speculating about. I mean, do you keep him in there down this far? I mean, you don't want to hurt the guy and not have him be able to play next week.
I imagine he is toast. He has just got to be burnt out. So slipping under center after the timeout is Tyler Strew, it appears. And they will pitch and try to run it. And Pius, did he make it? He just made it into the end zone. They hit him a couple times short of that goal line, but he spun in there and gets Momence on the scoreboard here in the second half of play finally here with 6:24 to go in the ball game, and that makes it a 43-14 Clinton lead. And a conversion try coming up.
And Pius still not giving up, as you mentioned. Hit hard a couple times, bounced off, and still fought his way to the end zone. He's not giving up, and it's just a great effort because a lot of times when you get down like this, guys just quit. But, I mean, nice. I don't want to say quick drive by Momence, but they worked it methodically down the field and got another score.
You know, I think maybe we should give their coaching staff some credit because when they walked off the field at halftime down 43-8, I mean, some of their players were just dragging themselves off the field, and not just from exhaustion. I think they were demoralized when they were going off the football field. And I think their coaching staff must have done a pretty good job at halftime getting their heads back in order and saying, hey, we still got a second half of football to play, guys, and you're not going to go out of here. Maybe you're not going to be able to pull out this game. Of course, they probably wouldn't say that. But, you know, you guys aren't just going to go through the motions. You know, let's play some football in the second half. And really, Momence has, yes, the Maroons have been playing their second-string offense and defense in there. But, you know, as you said, they haven't quit, and I think that's to the credit of some of their kids and I think to their coaching staff.
Yeah, and, I mean, especially you mentioned some of the guys dragging. I mean, Terrace Randall, the last play of the half was hit hard, brought down by sack by Adam Moore. I mean, he had to be one of the guys that really might not want to go back in there, especially after all the work he did, and he still played until now here in the fourth quarter.
We've had a timeout taken, but we're ready to go for the conversion try here. Tyrone Pyrus on a 1-yard run for the touchdown. Has given Momence their second touchdown of the ball game. Their first in the second half. They're going to try for 2 and a rollout right by the backup quarterback being chased. He's going to run with it, and he gets in there. Nice little skip right before he got to the goal line, and Tyler Strew runs it in for the 2-point conversion. So we have timeout, and we'll take timeout also. 6:24 to go in the fourth period of play. Clinton leads 43-16.
The Warm Neighbors Fund pays heating bills for people in need. It also weatherizes homes, which helps reduce future heating bills. Warm Neighbors is administered by the Energy Assistance Foundation, a nonprofit organization formed in 1982 with a $250,000 donation from Illinois Power. Last year alone, your contributions and major funding from Illinois Power provided warmth for over 2,000 families.
Kickoff by Momence will be taken by the Maroons inside the 20-yard line out to about the 30-yard line. And Clinton will have a first down and 10 just short of their own 30-yard line. So the Maroons with a healthy lead still, of course, of 43-16.
And now I'd expect more of the same running game to try to eat more clock up and get the Maroons their first win of the season.
Well, we'll keep a track of who some of these guys are that are into the ball game for the Clinton Maroons. And Joe, you help me with this. We've, I think, hit most of them and given credit to most of the guys that have gotten into the ball game.
Tommy Music just came in. He's going to be wide out to the Maroons' right side.
All right. And on first down and 10, they'll try the left-hand side. And not much gain for Bundy on the play, maybe a yard or so on the play. So, running out the clock in this ball game. It's been all Clinton, especially during the first half of play, Joe, and just as we've said several times before, great experience for this football team here in the second half.
Yeah, well, and
a lot guys getting in there.
A lot of people worried, especially after last week's game, because they didn't know how good Central Catholic would be, and the offense turned the ball over a lot of times. I think this answers the question. I think they came out looking to make an impression on people.
Duggins gets the call and gets some good yardage that time, a gain of about 7 yards or so on the play, as Duggins breaks it out to about the 37-yard line, it looks like. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Clinton leading 43-16. 3rd and 3 coming up here. 3rd and 3 for the Maroons from their own 47-yard line. Let's see, we got one man going wide to the left-hand side. It's Matt Galone. We haven't seen the ball in the air at all in the second half of play. And we still won't. We got whistles and flags throwing before the snap of the football, and a penalty coming up here. Travis Andrew looked like he had the first down run, but I think it might be called back.
Yeah, I think it was offsides on the Maroons.
Procedure penalty called against the Maroons. So it will come back to the 37-yard line. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down and still 8. 3rd down and 8 for the Maroons at their own 32-yard line. Maroons up to the line of scrimmage. Philip Turner this time is going to go wide to the right-hand side. I formation in the backfield. Here's the run. Andrew will try the right-hand side. And got a couple of yards, will be short of a first down. And the Maroons will have to punt the football. Looks like we'll see number 9 for about the only time we've seen him here in the second half of play.
Yeah, Nate will come on to punt. Looks like a lot of the first line guys came back in. Wes Graves is in there. Randy Rich came back in there.
Here's the kick by Sams. Had some pressure, hits it high in the air, and the Maroons are down to cover it. Bounces straight up in the air, and the Maroons will down the football. And that looked like Lucas Ward, the man there, to grab hold of that football. And Lucas downs it at about the 46-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Momence with only 3 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the ball game.
We know.
First and 10 for Momence at the 46-yard line. Well, we used to. Yeah, we just connected on the radio, and we keep calling them, and for some reason they won't pick it up and plug us in. And they're saying on the radio, well, we wish Larry would call, but we are calling. We're calling while we're trying to do play-by-play. Here's Pius trying the left-hand side, gets into Maroon territory out to about the 48-yard line. He gained about 5 yards, 6 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, Pius, a good runner, is normally Momence tries to kick it to the outside on some sweeps and options, and that looks really to be their strength, as Randall and Pius are both quick guys. It's just it didn't materialize today, but that looks to be their attack most times.
So on 2nd down and really about 3, it looks like. Flags fly. Yeah, can you hear the music all right? And we have a penalty coming up here. Now my radio's blaring me out. I can't hear anything but music playing. That's a little distracting. Well, you know, not only is it a ragged end of the football game on the football field, but it's a ragged end of things here in the booth, I guess, at least for those of us on the radio. But we're going to do our best to come to a solution here of some sort. Hang in here with me, Joe.
All right.
It has to happen about every game for some reason. Penalty on Momence. We're back at the 50-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 coming up. And they'll try the run up the middle. And Pius will get good yardage. Pius is down to about the 43-yard line before a good solid hit by the Maroons. And Brian Preston was one of those there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Brian Preston. Greg Gall's the one that really nailed him low after the 7-yard gain by Pius. Nice hit by Greg there.
So it's a gain to about the 42-yard line, and it's a 1st and 10 for Momence, as they did get first down yardage on that. I guess they're back with us on the radio, although for some reason it's not a very clear signal. I don't know why. And we've done our best to try to reestablish things.
We shouldn't have pounded on the table.
I guess not. I was upset that they scored that touchdown. Well, the Maroons defense there again for that particular play, Joe.
Yep, they stopped them for a 1-yard loss. It was good swarm up the middle. Number 28, Jay Payette, made a nice tackle for the loss on that trap play.
Well, I'm going to work on the radio equipment and see if I can get it reestablished before the game's totally over, Joe. So you might have to describe some of the football game if you would.
Okay. No problem.
Can you handle that?
I can handle that.
Can you really?
Yeah.
What is it? It's second down and about 11?
Second 11. Momence.
I just can't do both things at the
Looking
same
to
time.
Snap the ball. Number 5, Tyler Strew hands off to number 29, Ryan Newberry.
He's still
off
on his
the
feet.
left side, still on his feet, bouncing off tackles. Looked to have gained about 8 yards on the play as the Maroons did a nice job chasing him out of bounds. Strew waited to pitch the ball, and a good run by Newberry after the pitch. Got 6 yards on the play. Newberry.
So they'll have about a third down and 4. Can you hear me okay at the radio station now?
Newberry, one of the guys that
Hello.
just got, one of the running backs that just got in the second half.
Hello. Hello.
Momence under
After the
center.
phone, please.
Strew.
Sorry, Joe. Don't pay attention to me.
Looks like hand off and swarm up the middle by the Maroons as they knock him back for a loss or no gain. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 4 as Newberry went nowhere on the play. Momence still in the huddle as they trail the Maroons 43-16. 17 seconds left to play, so this will likely be one of the final plays in the game as Clinton will notch up their first victory here today. Strew back to pass. Eludes a tackler, looking downfield, has a man open. And he finds, I didn't get the number, he finds number 91, Jimmy Carpenter, and that's how the game ends. The Maroons are victorious, 43-16.
Not really important who it was that caught the pass. It's a final score, and the Maroons get the victory. They win
Jimmy
it by a score of
Carpenter.
43-16. I can't even hear you for all the noise going on here. So it's a victory. We'll recap it for you in just a moment.